Good. Hello, everyone. It's Monday morning. I'm sitting around my daughter's because my social media is still down, not up, not social media. My broadband that I use in my own home is not up and running because I've moved house. So I am going from house to house, and I can't go into the academy because it's too big, and I'll just get disturbed in there. So she's let me come to her house and do it. So you'll get different scenes depending on whether my social media has been put on or not. But anyway, this live is for business owners ready to drive sales without trying to do it all themselves. Okay, so one of the things that I want to start with is who in your business is actually responsible for sales, because I think this is where we get everything quite wrong here. Is we think it's just predominantly down to us, but it is. But we need to drive those sales, because what I would say to people, if you have a team of 4, 5, 6, if there's 5 of you driving that sales, you're going to get a lot more business into your business. It just makes sense, doesn't it? So, like for me, I'm always on our team meetings talking about the different courses we deliver. And when I was in my salon, I did exactly the same. I would say about a particular product every month that we would be talking about all month, because that would drive sales. Because I think what most businesses do is they try and get people to talk about everything all the time, and when that happens it can become really confusing for the people within your business. So if they know that the actual focus for that quarter of what you are going to be talking about, they're much more likely to be taught, and you educate them in that product, they're much more likely to be able to speak to other people about that product on a daily basis. And how I used to do it in my salon was that I used to let them have that product for free so they could try it. And then guess what? They used to talk about it, because people always talk about products they love. Okay. But you've got to motivate that person to want to talk about it. Okay. So, as far as I'm concerned, I've got some notes here so I don't forget everything. Your whole team is responsible for driving sales. So, if you're a training business, from tutors to admin to assessors to your receptionists, whoever you've got, the same in your salon businesses. It's your front of house staff, but every member in that team, because basically, if you have more sales going into your business, that means there's bigger profits. And with bigger profits, you can share that out with your team. So you can give them not just a percentage of it, but because I always think percentages get quite muddled up, but you can have like little pots. And it doesn't all, what you need to find out in your team, what motivates them, what do they want to do, that where do they want to go. So I'll give you some examples of that. So I've got a particular member in my team at the moment. What he wants to do is every year we set like a thing called team reflection, and we set the goals of what they want to achieve in 12 months. So I know that one of his goals, okay, is to bring some residual income into his business, not into his business, but a secondary income that he can earn from. Okay. And one of those ones is having an embroidery business on the side. Okay. So for me, one of the things that I can help him do, okay, because obviously we deliver apprenticeships, is I can find an apprenticeship that suits him, that will help him towards that goal. But the double whammy is it not only helps him towards that goal, it also helps my business towards that goal, because ultimately, if he wins, I win too. So by teaching him how to market his new business, which I do through the multi-channel apprenticeship, he can now learn how to get more sales into his new side hustle, which is what he wants at the moment. Okay, because then that will grow my business. So that's just one example. I've got another member of my team who has her own salon. She's a tutor within my business as well, but not just a tutor, she does other stuff in that time. I'm not going to say who she is because I don't want, she might not want everyone to know, but ultimately she wants to launch a new product in her business. So I can give her some funded training, okay, which she can deliver for my people, okay? But at the same time, she's also going to be learning how to drive that product for her business. So she works for me 4 days a week, and then she's got her own salon that she has, which her team work in. So again, there's two examples. And that's one of the things I love about the multi-channel apprenticeship, because if you can give them a reason to do that, it's going to help both of you, because ultimately they're going to drive sales through your business and you're going to drive sales for them, which will give them a residual income. And like I always say to people, there's two reasons people leave your business. The one top reason is they've reached a ceiling on what they can earn in your business. And the second one, the reason that they leave, is because they feel unappreciated. So if you drive your business through what they want to achieve, okay, so create more sales, okay, for them, but also within your business, and you can do that in all different ways, okay, incentivize them depending on what they want. Some people don't just want money, they want, prizes, holidays, all sorts of things. You can put that into your business plan, so that the people that achieve those sales into your business, okay, will be rewarded for doing that. So all of my tutors are talking about the different ways of what they can do next. So when somebody's coming, so this quarter, we've promoted our multi-channel funded course, which anyone can do. Basically, even if you are a business owner, you can do that. And there's some eligibility criteria that I teach, okay, to make sure that you can. And all you've got to do is jump on a call. But I would always be wanting to take someone within my team, because ultimately I always say that the D's, do it first and then detail it and then train. And that's why I love the apprenticeship schemes, because the apprenticeship schemes help you to do exactly that. So if you do the very first one with them, or you don't even have to don't even have to invest in it, do it with them, okay? So they sign up and then you do it along with them, okay? That will drive sales into your business, because they're learning how to market. That also takes pressure off you as a business owner, because now they can do that on your behalf. And I often find the younger people love this, because especially apprentices that are coming to the end of their training, say they're coming to the end of their level 2 beauty training, they're not quite ready for level 3 at this point. I feel they want to build their client base, so like they may only have, for whatever reason, 40%, 50% full. By putting them onto the multi-channel apprenticeship, that actually then will boost their clientele, okay? So they're bringing more money in for your business, but give them the option that if they do that, that gives them a transferable skill, that if ever at some point they want to leave your business, or they want to make additional income for holidays, for extra stuff, buying a house, all of those things, they could sell that to other businesses in the area and do that as a side hustle. And especially now with the apprenticeship rules being that they can do 16 hours a week, okay, which means that's great for you and your business, because not everybody wants to be employed full-time anymore, okay. There are some stipulations around that, so they need to have more off-the-job training, but that's fine, especially with vocational qualifications, because they're very often doing the skill that they're learning, especially if they're learning multi-channel apprenticeship. They're learning how to do that, but they can be doing that within your business at the same time. Okay, I talk about everything in weekly team huddles. We have weekly team huddles, so we're always talking about the new course that we are promoting and the reasons why. So you can ask yourself this question. You can ask them this question. So it could be, if you are a training business, did I talk about our new courses this week? Think about it. Did you actually reflect on that and think about it? Did I remind everyone they could upskill or refer a friend? So, for instance, in that group, is there anyone in there that wants to actually do the multi-channel apprenticeship? And also, if not, do they know of somebody that would love to do that? Then what questions came up, so then you can also then recover what actual questions came up that they could turn into a sale in the future. So you're always talking around what those questions that team has had. because sometimes they get things asked them and they don't really know what to say. So if you're able to put that on your weekly team huddles that you have, and I always say to everyone they should be having this every week, a catch up with their team, half an hour, I don't know, on a Monday morning. We always do it Monday. We do it at 9 till 9:30, and the reason we do that is because we can reflect on everything that's happened within that business in the week, and if anybody's got any problems. What you'll learn is when team members regularly reflect, they naturally start to spot opportunities. So if you're asking those questions on a weekly basis, they will then start thinking about them themselves. So basically, you start with your team reflection, what they want to achieve for the year, what are their goals, and their goals can be, I want to buy a house, I want to buy a car, I want to go on a holiday, I want to travel. All of those things can actually help them. So if they can bring in more sales, or they can learn a sales technique, okay, they're more likely to bring more sales in. And that means that in other businesses, okay, if they wanted to have a side hustle. Okay. Your team has sales conversations every day. They just don't call it sales because people always, when you think about sales, they think about forcing people to buy something. But I call it the whisper. It's about talking about something on a regular basis. Most of us do it. So, an example of that could be, okay, most times people will be talking about, I don't know, what was on Netflix last night. That to me is a sale. Love Island. At the moment, everybody's watching Love Island. So, what happened in Love Island? There's always a discussion around it. Now, the thing is, they love that program, okay? They enjoy that program, so they tend to talk about it, or they absolutely hate it. One of the two. It's always going to be one of them, but they're promoting it all the time. And that's the same within your business. If there's a particular thing that they would love to do, so the multi-channel apprenticeship is just an example. If they do that qualification, they're going to be talking about the things that they're learning all the way through that. And long term wise, you could deliver that course. Okay, once they've done it, they could train to be a trainer, or if they're already a trainer, they can train to do the multi channel apprenticeship and then actually deliver it and then get paid for it. Okay, so whenever your team is always talking about different things, okay, an assessor, if you're a tutor, it's always praising and progress and mentioning the next qualification. That's in a training business, they're always looking for the next place they want to go. And the same with your team. If you're working within a business at the moment, your managers, your receptionists, everybody, okay, can be talking about the next step for that person. And that's selling and explaining to people where they can go, which then makes sure that that team person stays with you for longer. And so many people are finding people are leaving very quickly. So they will leave. That's just the way it is. That gone are the days where people would stay in your business for years and years and years. Okay. But they will stay longer if they feel developed and they're learning some transferable skill. And if you can get that funded through the apprenticeship scheme, it's not coming out of your pocket, they're learning something new, they're more likely to stay with you within your business, they're going to help your business to grow. Okay. So another thing to do is in your weekly meetings, use team reflection to help them recognize those sales moments. So get them to think about things that have happened in the business that they could have spoken about a particular product. So from a training issue, I'll always say to people, if you're in a review with a learner and you're training them, what you can be saying to that person is, what would you like to achieve in the next 12 months? Where would you like to go? Where would you like to see you? And then I go back to all of the problems that they might. So some of them will say, I'd love to have my own salon long term wise. Well, that's a great opportunity to say, okay, you're going to need to learn these skills to be able to run your own salon. So I would always be open to that and know, okay, so shall we learn about marketing? Your new business, you need to learn about that. So it's a great way to bring that into them. They can be practicing on your business, which will then help bring you sales in while they're learning. They could also then long-term wise, when they decide to leave your business for whatever reason, okay, have a transferable skill that they can use. But not just that, even in your business, that gives them an additional income stream coming in. So do you think that person is more likely to stay with your business longer? Yes, they are. And also other people within your business will see that happen. Guess who wants to train up in those type of schemes? They want to do that. Okay. Remember, okay, the multi-channel apprenticeship is a sales tool for you. Okay, it's not just a delivery model. Okay, it's motivation and sales enabler. It's teaching them how to sell, and that's what most people are frightened of. The reason people don't sell is because they don't know how to. So this way they can start to be to get excited. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to have some people in that are actually doing the qualification themselves that will be able to tell you why they love doing it and what they've learned from it already. Okay. Get your, it teaches them also how to create content. Okay. And once they create the content, okay, they feel ownership of it and they're more motivated to actually promote it. So they'll learn stuff that once they know how to do it and they feel confident of doing it, and ultimately for you, then it takes that pressure off you. And I've worked in sales and marketing and I know that is a full-time role. So I know that for you as a business owner, if you can take some of that pressure off you and several 2 or 3 people in your business to do this, that's going to take the pressure off you long term and put that into your recruitment plan. So if you are a salon, they may do level 2 hair at the beginning, go on to level 3 multi-channel apprenticeship, and then at a later date put them on the level 3 hair apprenticeship. So ultimately you've got that person going through your business. They're also learning how to sell. Okay, so they're building their clientele, they're building a business within your business. I always say that, think of it like that, but they're learning some skills to help them do that. And what will happen is they will naturally mention it in more conversations, and that gives you more sales. Involve the team in actually shaping whatever offer that is. So if you had to sell this, what would you say? Get them to actually come in and talk about that in your huddle. So how would you pitch that? So you can teach them things so that get to learn it. Use their reflections to refine how you present the courses, or if it's a treatment, how you present that treatment. And often and knows what works best for different people. So for instance, they'll start recognizing that. Show your team the link between selling and personal wins. So things like bonuses or rewards for referrals, recognition in the team meeting for helping fill a space, growth opportunities, e.g. the things that they can go on to. With this, what can they achieve? So in other words, making sure they understand. Selling isn't pushy. It's about serving more people and growing the business they are part of. Because if they grow the business that they are part of, that brings in more sales into the business, which then makes sure that they can get higher wages, bigger commissions, all of those things, or more prizes for actually achieving those, so that they become part of that model, not just you. Okay. And then make sales reflection as a habit. Ask at their weekly team chats, who did you help this week? What question kept coming up? If it's a training business, you could have things like, who did you help enroll this week? What question kept coming up about our training? Where could you have turned a chat into a course sign up? If it's a salon, okay, what you could say is, who did you help with a certain product this week? What question kept coming up about the product? Where could you have turned a chat into an extra treatment? So remember, repetition, awareness will then create more action. Social proof from within. Get your staff involved in sharing their experiences. So get them involved so if it's a training business, get them sharing learner success stories. If it's a hair and beauty salon, get them talking about clients that have used that particular product. So for me, like whenever I'm talking about our products, I will tell you about a client that's come through our training. So an example is Donna, who I'm going to be sharing her story next week, okay, who is currently now has done the multi-channel apprenticeship or digital marketing apprenticeship, and is now actually delivering that as a trainer, as a member of our team, that we pay her per learner to deliver that, okay, on our behalf. So she's a member of the team that's doing that. And over the week, we'll bring in other people who are going through that training that will be able to tell you their success stories. So use other people and get your team to use other people when they're talking to people. So I did this on Sally, the client, last week, and now her hair is this, this, and this. That's the type of thing they need to be talking about, because people need social proof of what actually worked and what didn't. Posting on social media, get your clients, okay, to post on social media as well, okay, all of those things, because that will promote it. And part of the multi-channel apprenticeship teaches them all of that. And also talking about what's happening inside the business, people are really interested in that, okay? So for instance, you can get people as part of the multi-channel apprenticeship to be talking about different things that they have been doing within your business, which will again promote your business, but it will also teach them how to do it. Okay, this also builds motivation and brings in new learners via trust. So look, an example of something that we did when we were promoting a new product in our salon, and you can do this in a training business as well. What we did was we did 3 weeks of daily lives, and each day we would announce a winner, and we would either sell a product or a treatment, okay, they would win, okay. They had to like, share, and comment on the post. Our engagement went through the roof. We had lots of new clients, and my younger members in the team were able to get models in, okay, at a discounted price, to be able, as part of that price, to be able to practice on and build their client base. It made it a real buzz. And what we used to do at 5 o'clock, we would announce it at 5 o'clock every night, and we would get those people as part of that, okay, to actually announce it. What it made them do is go on social media, where they were quite frightened of it and they didn't know how to do it, but because there was a group of them doing it, it didn't seem so bad, so it took them out of their comfort zone. But it also got our engagement up, and follows went through the roof, and we had from that, and we monitored it as a product to see how many new clients we had, and we had lots of new clients. Some of them signed up for our courses, because we did one for the training business as well, and we did one for the actual salon as well, and they've worked really, really well. But it wasn't just the case of getting people coming in, it got my team involved in selling that particular product. Remember, you're already selling conversation, so show them every praise they give, every tip they share, every time they mention a course or a product, okay? They're planting seeds, okay? Celebrate that, and they'll do it a lot more, okay? So this is my final message to you. Motivation comes from feeling like your effort matters. Team reflection shows your team where they're already making a difference and how they can do more. The multi-channel apprenticeship gives them a modern, exciting way to connect, promote, and enroll clients or enroll learners, whichever thing you're doing within your business. But put them in the center and watch your sales grow. Remember, there's only one of you, but if there's more people doing it, okay, other than you, your business is going to grow quicker. So I hope you've enjoyed today. I'm going to be back on next week with Donna, okay, who is somebody that's actually done this qualification and now is delivering it as a trainer to other people. And then over the week, we'll have some extra people coming in who'll be able to talk about their experience and what they've done with it. So have a great day, guys. I hope to see you really soon in the group, in our training. I would love to have you on board. So if any of you are interested in the multi-channel apprenticeship, the link will be here, and then you can sign up to find out more.